And next, Magician Murray is back on the blend, where you can see him live on the stage. Welcome back to the Morning Blend. Our next guest blew us away on America's Got Talent when he made a train disappear on stage. Since then, Murray SawChuck has reappeared on many stages and shows, including the History Channel's Pawn Stars. Now, Murray is the guest star of this weekend's debut performance of the new Vegas Magic Theater inside Gold Coast, which you can see on Friday.
That's right. Here with a few tricks up his sleeve, Murray SawChuck and Douglas Lefty Leferovich.
Excellent. That's a magic trick in itself, right there.
There we go. He's a guest star. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, too. So Vegas Magic Theater, it's a new show starting tomorrow at Gold Coast. Yes. Tell us all about this special gig, right?
It's a brand new venue, and it's produced by Paul Stone. And he's a producer who's produced shows at the Palladium in England and all over the world for years. And the great thing with the show is every week, there's going to be new acts every week. So if you're a local, you can come every single week and see a different show.
That's
so
awesome.
It's a rotating cast all the time. So I happen to be in town this week, and so is Lefty, so we decided to come to the show. Why not? Yeah, and Paul was nice enough to invite us, so it's something to check out every week. And the show times, they're Thursday and Fridays and Sundays at 7 p.m. and then Saturdays they have a show at 5 and 7:30. So 2 shows Saturdays.
Very cool.
And you've worked so hard to get where you are right now, but for people who are not familiar, how did you get into all this magic stuff?
Well, you know, as a kid, I'm originally from Vancouver, Canada. And I started with a magic kit, like any kid does. Went to school, and I started paying my bills by doing magic tricks. And I kept fooling people, and they kept paying me. So I thought, well, let's not stop that.
Your biggest magic act ever was being a Canadian on America's Got Talent.
Yes, isn't that great? What are the chances, right? And it's funny, I just became an American citizen just before I did the show.
Fantastic. All right.
So I was very lucky by that. So, and now Canada's Got Talent's having a show now, and they've talked about bringing me up there just to perform on the show.
That's awesome.
And how did you unite with Lefty here?
Well, he started, it was his idea for Vanishing the Train. He's the one who came up with it.
Really?
And he comes on my show as a magic consultant. That's really his talent.
Now I remember, yes.
So my background is I've done magic all my life, and we have an interesting dynamic on stage. It's a contrasting character. He's dressed in a suit. I'm dressed as a sort of a frustrated stagehand, and my goal is to have the limelight. So I'm helping him with his tricks, and then occasionally when he leaves the stage, I try to sneak the spotlight and do some manipulation or do something fun. So it's a nice balance
And now
on
you
stage.
get to tell him what to do.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
Well, you know,
nice.
I've always been a huge fan of like Dean Martin, Jerry Lewis type of stuff, any of that stuff. So it's kind of a recreation of that indirectly, you know what I mean? So
Nice.
yeah.
How did you get into magic, Lefty? Where are you from?
I grew up in New York,
Okay.
and it was something I did with my family. My father and my brother, we would do it just for fun. We started doing shows for relatives at Easter and Christmas, and then a neighbor found out, oh, we did shows. So we started doing birthday parties, and like Murray, all throughout high school, that's the way I made my money. So when friends would bag groceries at the grocery store just to make some extra cash, my brother and I would do birthday parties to make money.
Nice.
And how did you think of the idea of making him make a train disappear? What was, because so many people can think
He just had a
things
train he had to get
make
rid of.
disappear.
America's Got Talent is very much about the backstory and about getting to know the personality of the performer, and Murray's family comes from the railway. So we thought, what a great way to incorporate his family history and talking about his dad and the rest of his family working on the railway, and he gave up having a job in the railway to pursue his dream as a magician.
Wow.
And what's funny about that is we did America's Got Talent, we did the tiger trick with the girl and the tiger.
Yeah.
And we thought, well, that's hopefully enough to get us ahead. We're having lunch one day in LA with my mom, and he's sitting there and he's like, have you any idea what you can do next? They call me to phone me, hey, if you happen to get through, what would you do next? And we just finished talking about this train thing. It was a joke. I said, no, I can't. I mean, where am I going to get a train? And I said to them on the phone, I said, well, you know what I could do is I could actually make a train disappear. And like, you know what? Give us 10 minutes. We'll see if we can approve that. Hung up the phone. I thought, you've got to be kidding me. Anyways, 15 minutes later, they call back. Go, guess what? We just got it approved. Here's the budget. This is what you have to do it under. You know, this is what we can afford to work with you. Try to get this. I was like, great. Hung up the phone, and for the next 6 days, try to find a train in the States that we could use.
Look at that. We're showing the video right now.
Yeah,
what is it like to perform in front of some very tough judges? Pierce, Sharon, and who's the other third?
Pierce, Sharon, and Howie Mandel.
Howie.
Well, it's nerve-wracking because they're right there. And, you know, when you see the set, you're sitting there, and on TV, it looks like they're miles away. I mean, it does look like, but when you walk on that stage, you know, the platform's raised, and they're, like, right there. I mean, they're right in your face, and you really don't notice anyone else but them.
So you're playing to them kind of because they're the judges?
Well, yeah, and they're in front of you. You have nowhere else to look, you know, so you're
But also, you're playing to the cameras because 22 million people are watching the show. There's probably 500 people live, but there's so many people who are voting on TV, so he's definitely playing to the cameras.
I'm really interested interested in how you got to train on stage, but that's a whole other conversation.
Getting it on was easy. Getting rid of it was
Yeah, it was
harder.
pretty difficult as well.